Hello, and thank you for joining today's webinar, Sealing Solutions for Drug Delivery Devices. My name is Adam Lachivo, and I am joined today by our presenters, Dom Viduya and Brooke Saccone from Parker's O-Ring and Engineered Seals Division. Just a few housekeeping items before we begin. Your microphone will be set on mute for the duration of the webinar. We will be holding a brief Q&A session following the content presented in the webinar. Please submit any questions you may have to the Q&A feature located at the bottom of the screen in your Zoom panel, and we'll answer those live at the end of the webinar. If you experience any technical issues during the webinar, not to worry, we'll be recording the webinar, and a link to view it on demand will be sent to you via email following the webinar. And finally, please fill out our survey at the end of the webinar so we can enhance our future webinar offerings. With that being said, I will turn it over to our presenters.
Thank you for the introduction. My name is Dom Viduya. I'm the Business Development Engineer for the Life Science Market at the O-Ring and Engineered Seals Division. I've been with Parker for 6 years.
My name is Brooke Saccone. I have been with Parker for 4 years now, and I am the Life Science Territory Manager in the West region responsible for our life science customers.
Parker has a large global presence. We have over 3,000 product lines, over $19.1 billion in sales, over 540,000 customers, and 63,000 total team members. We serve over 1,100 markets, and we have over 335 manufacturing plants. Today, we'll be talking about O-Ring and Engineered Seals drug delivery solutions. So what do we consider drug delivery devices? We consider these any devices that deliver drugs to a patient. This can be anything such as an inhaler, a wearable device such as an insulin pump, infusion pumps in the hospital that can deliver chemotherapy, IVs, or other drugs, and nasal delivery devices as well. So what are Parker OES's design and manufacturing capabilities? We have extensive labs and engineer teams that can complete FEAs to help design the best seal for your individual device. In our labs, we also can complete fluid compatibility that can interact with our new materials with new drug developments to make sure they're compatible. We can also do gland design on existing systems and also failure analysis on existing systems as well. So in terms of our overall capabilities, we are a large O-ring manufacturer, and we can make O-ring accessories for these as well. We have an extruded product line that we can do standard lathe cuts all the way up to custom part fabricated products for enclosures. And we can also do non-sealing extruded products such as sleeves, bumpers, tubings, and pills for other devices. And we also have custom molded seals for custom shapes and also overmolded solutions and sub-assemblies. Our product size range is wide. We can mold parts as small as 20 thousandths. We also have press decks as large as 54 by 48 inches. We can also serpentine mold as well, providing larger parts out of a molded profile if desired. For seals that need to be larger than that, though, we can extrude and splice the parts together to the desired length. For life sciences and drug delivery devices, we mainly focus on these next two product lines. O-rings and lathe cuts are a great versatile solution that can be provided in high volumes and small to large sizes. They're also great for high pressures and a great place to start for any application. The second line of product we cover today is the Parker Press and Place line, or the PIP line. These seals are used for enclosure sealings of devices and are designed for retention and low closure force. Seal retention is important for various reasons. First, it allows for the seal to be easily assembled. The retention feature ensures of proper installation. Since the parts are mechanically retained into the groove, it removes the need for any adhesive or glue. This can reduce the time for installation as adhesives and glues may need time to cure. Next, it makes the product easier to service. If a device needs maintenance, the seal can easily be removed and replaced. If a glue or adhesive was used, it can be difficult to open the device without damaging it. Also, it can be quite messy in there and need cleaning. Also, it reduces the service time by not needing to wait for the adhesive to cure or glue when reassembled. Last, for seal retention, it may prevent transit issues in between processes. As devices are manufactured, they are moved through various processes. The press and place line will stay securely in the groove and prevent any misaligned seals. Secondly, low closure force is important for various reasons. First, it reduces the amount of fasteners or screws needed to close a device, which can be a cost saving in manufacturing hardware. Second, it protects the hardware from damage through the high force needed. Lastly, the seal provides high gap variability. They are able to overcome higher tolerances or higher flatness variances, usually seen when manufacturing using plastics. The first PIP seal we'll look at today is the diamond seal. This is a molded product. This seal provides retention through its ribs. It also needs low load to seal due to the profile of the diamond. Also, the groove is narrower compared to a typical O-ring. This allows for a smaller seal footprint or groove footprint needed on the device. Last, since the molded seal, we can reduce the number of part numbers needed. For example, if there's 6 O-rings needed for one device due to the multiple ports, we can integrate this all into one groove path and make it one part. The downside to this product line, there can be high tooling costs associated with it. The second press and place line we will look at today is our extruder line. As you can see in the top right, we have 5 different options based on your individual application. Please reach out to us and we can help determine which one is the right for your application. These seals again provide retention through friction fits into the groove. Also, the seal provides low load. This allows effective sealing performance with minimal force applied, preventing any deflection or deformation to the hardware. This approach maintains the integrity and functionality of the components while providing a reliable seal. In the bottom right, it shows how the differences in cross-section can reduce the hardware deflection. The left shows high sealing force, but the need for high clamping force. The hollow profiles on the right show a lower sealing force, but the need for less clamping. This again can protect against any damage to hardware. The third feature of the extruded press and place line is that it provides high tolerance or gap variability. Plastics are hard to hold tighter tolerances and flatness variances. The bottom left graphic shows that the different profiles can provide a seal from 0 millimeters to a 2 millimeter gap while providing a sufficient sealing force. Again, the extruder line allows for these to be manufactured in very large sizes and spliced together. Also, if a standard size is chosen, there is no tooling cost needed. If a custom size is chosen, there can be a low cost for a die when compared to a molded shape. Other retention options are here. For more information on these, you can reach out to a product design engineer and they can help design the best enclosure seal for your system. Now I'll pass it over to Brooke for the life science materials.
I'm now going to go through our life science material offerings. We will go over certifications and then the material classes that are common in the life science market, as well as some applications where these materials are used. One of the most important things in this industry is biocompatibility, not only making sure the seals withstand their environment, but also making sure they don't affect their environment, which in the world of life sciences is usually the human body. So in our material listings, you'll see USP Class 6 and ISO 10993 approvals. These are really the benchmark for biocompatibility within the medical industry. We also have FDA approvals in our material lists. These show the materials that are suitable for food contact, and they are commonly used in medical device manufacturing. From these material certification offerings, I'm going to branch off into our material families. The first one I'm going to talk about is our silicone materials. These are the most commonly used materials in the medical device applications. They have been intensively studied for biocompatibility and come in a wide variety of durometers and colors. S1138 is our 70 durometer silicone that I would say is one of our high runners in this market. It has USB Class 6 and FDA certifications, and it can be both molded and extruded. Going back to some of the design applications Dom went over, this is a very versatile material for our life science customers. So like I said, silicone is the most commonly used material, and there are some pretty good reasons for that. Silicones are an environmental seal, and they have good ozone and weather resistance. Silicones also have a wide temperature range. They are very good in high temperature applications. We have materials that can go up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Silicones are also very commonly used in applications requiring sterilization. They are able to withstand sterilization processes such as gamma, steam, thermal, and ethylene oxide. But there are some applications where silicone is not the best choice. The real downfall of silicone is within its mechanical properties. It's very prone to pinching and tearing, especially during assembly and installation. And if there is some movement in the application, it's very common to see a silicone material wear. We do have other material offerings that have better mechanical properties, so it's really all dependent on application, and our team can help with proper material selection. Next, I'm going to go into our fluorocarbons and fully fluorinated FFKMs. These are really what you would call our top of the line materials in terms of chemical resistance. Quite a few are medical grade compounds. FF156 is our general purpose 75 durometer FFKM with USP Class 6 approval that is very commonly used throughout the industry. Another one I would like to mention is B1274. It's an 80 durometer FKM, which checks all of our certification boxes, being USP Class 6, ISO 10993, and FDA approved. On to some material properties. FFKMs are known for their wide chemical resistance and high temperature performance, making them ideal for the most demanding life science applications. They are essential in applications that require high purity and resistance to extreme cleaning agents, such as the biopharmaceutical processing industry. They perform very well in sterilization methods, including EO, thermal, and steam, but they are not recommended for gamma sterilization as they will degrade, and most do not do well in hot water or steam applications. They are also on the pricier side compared to our other material offerings. So that's another factor to take into consideration to see if an FKM is needed for versatile chemical compatibility. And on to our last material family, we have our EPDMs. EPDMs are another essential material in the medical industry. I would say they are probably underutilized in comparison to silicone. They have a lot of benefits for this market that I'm going to go into shortly. Here is our list of EPDM offerings from the life science market. Our high running material in this family is E3609. It's a 70 durometer EPDM, which checks all the certification boxes, being USP Class 6, ISO 10993, and FDA approved. Another material that I would like to note is EA 108. It is a 70 durometer white EPDM. It's a common request that we get in the life science industry to have a white material offering for cleanliness standards. Currently, EA 108 is in the process of being tested to the USP Class 6 certification. On to some of the material properties of EPDM. They are known for their excellent compatibility with high temperature water and steam, and really anything soluble in water. They also have excellent mechanical properties in comparison to silicone. EPDMs have a better wear and tear resistance. They also have excellent compression set and relaxation resistance, which correlates to the longevity of the seal as well as a good long-term sealing performance. When it comes to sterilization, EPDMs are extremely stable in gamma. They're also excellent with ethylene oxide as well as steam and clean in place methods. So when it comes to it, basically any of the methods that we're going to be using to disinfect med devices are going to bode well with an EPDM. In our EPDM material family, we have a subset of internally lubed EPDMs. These are a great product offering that eliminate the use of external lubricants. They have an internal lubricant that is mixed into the elastomer material, and that lubricant will continue to bloom or seep out to the surface over its lifetime. We currently have a 45 durometer and a 70 durometer internally lubed EPDM. E1244 is our most commonly used. It's the 70 durometer material that's USP Class 6 and ISO 10993 approved. All of our biocompatibility testing was done with the internal lubricant mixed into the rubber, so the seal as a whole has proven to meet these standards. Going into a little more detail on the benefits of our self-lubricated materials, they're low friction. The friction reduction is provided from the internal lubricant, so it doesn't need an external lubricant to provide this, and it doesn't need a coating to give that friction reduction. These compounds are ideal for applications where traditional lubricants and coatings might pose contamination risks. They also are beneficial in an automated assembly process where you really can't have an external lubricant pre-assembly, and it's difficult to apply a lubricant post-assembly. As for installation, the insertion force is significantly higher for a dry O-ring than an internally lubed one. As you can see in the chart, we show a great reduction in frictional force from our E3609 material to our self-lubricated E1244. That's going to alleviate issues in installation as well as ease the disassembly process. And like our standard EPDMs, the internally lubed one are great with sterilization processes. So you might be thinking, what kind of application would we use this material? There's a wide range, but one example is drug metering. Let's say you have a syringe with a rubber seal and you need to precisely meter how much of that drug is delivered. You will need a smooth, low friction response from the seal inside the syringe. And if that seal, let's say, doesn't slide smoothly and cleanly, and instead it bumps and skids, this is going to lead to inaccuracy and low precision dose delivered. That's just one example of an application where these are used for. Like I said, there's a wide range that will benefit from self-lubricating EPDMs, anywhere from drug delivery to surgical devices to patient monitoring systems. Basically, anything that you could think of that will benefit from friction reduction in a medical setting is going to pair well with one of our self-lubricating EPDMs.
Thanks for the overview of materials, Brooke. Just to recap this webinar, Parker O-Ring and Engineered Seals Division can be a full solution provider on drug delivery devices. Whether design or lab testing is needed, we can also mold and extrude parts. This can be anything from an O-ring to enclosure seals.
We also have a material offering guide, ORD 5737, that you can find on our sealing solution for drug delivery devices landing page. If you scan that QR code, it will bring you to that page.
And now we'll open up the session to questions.